Perfect. Hi, everybody. I am Seth Ehrlich, Executive Director of SOS Outreach, and really excited to be here today, joined by Kara Sherpa, one of our program alumni, and Jennifer Mclaren, President and CEO of Smartwool, as we kick off our alumni engagement campaign. And as we look at the next steps for SOS, we are more dedicated than ever to engage our alumni back into the current operations of the organization and to really provide support to all of you who have been a part of our community for so long. So without further ado, I'd love to introduce Kara Sherpa. Kara, can you kick us off?
Hi, my name is Kara. I have been through the SOS program, started in 5th grade, ended in 11th grade. It was about 8 years. I just graduated from the University of Denver with my major in international studies, and this summer I will be interning at SOS as their alumni relations intern. I'm very excited to start this new chapter with SOS in alumni relations. And after serving for 25 years, after serving communities in the mountain regions for 25 years, SOS Outreach has recognized the increasing number of alumni of the program. SOS wants to complete the circle by launching an alumni network that will connect our alumni to our communities and national partners on our social platform. We are forging a path to reconnect our alumni to the current programs, other alumni, and to actively support and engage outdoor brand communities to the potential of our alumni. And without further ado, we're here with Jen Mclaren, the CEO of Smartwool. Hi, Jen. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm Jen Mclaren. I'm super excited to be here. I love working with SOS. It's been a long-standing partner of Smartwool, so great to be able to share, my insights of my career, and hopefully some of my tips will help. But yeah, so I started out my career in finance actually, and somehow ended up leading this amazing brand. I feel like I'm in a dream job right now, but I grew up in a small little town of Whitefield, New Hampshire. It's about 3,000 people, and wanted to, really see the world. And so, have looked for experiences that just, brought me, new things, new learnings throughout my career. And so I grew up in New Hampshire, now in Colorado, which is a beautiful, beautiful state to live in. I'm married, I have 2 boys. They keep me incredibly busy, and we just love spending time outside. So yeah, I'm definitely got a nice job leading an outdoor brand, but you'll hear probably a little bit more about my passion, which is using our platform as a business to do good in the world and really stand for the important causes. So somehow I found myself in this role, and it's just really exciting. So glad to be here.
The first question is, after high school, did you have a set plan to attend university, or did you explore other interests?
I did have a set plan to attend university. For me, I was the first graduate of college in my family, and so my parents really pushed me hard to make sure I went to school. They didn't have that opportunity, and so that was just something that was going to happen. And I was going, and actually I was super excited. As I mentioned, I grew up in a really small town, so it was a great opportunity just to be able to see the bigger world, get into a bigger environment, meet people, try to figure out what it is that I really wanted to do. So I was very excited to go to school. I ended up going to University of New Hampshire, which is about 10,000 person town. So it was pretty great. And I went for business in the end.
The second question is, what tools and values in life do you use every day to ensure a successful you?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It took me a while to figure this out, but recently, even just recently, I had a mentor tell me, just be you, always be you, and so don't try to be somebody that you're not, because you have amazing strengths. And when you figure out what those strengths are, you can really focus in on them. And, you're just that much more successful. You're that much happier. So I definitely go back to that whenever I'm sort of, doing something new that maybe I'm a little uncomfortable with. But just really push through that and make sure that I'm focused on my strengths. The other thing that I like to learn or to do also is learn every day. And so that's been something that I have, definitely has stuck with me over the years, and it's definitely paid off very well for me. And it's just something that I like to do. I'm sure you all do too, but it's good to remember that so you don't get stuck in any one place and you continue to be happy with new experiences.
In your leadership role, how do you foster diversity, equity, and inclusion within the Smartwool community and beyond?
That is a really great question. We, something I've learned over the last few years in this role is, while we have inclusivity at Smartwool as a core value, so it comes naturally to our team. And, it's something that we actually have an employee resource group around, a volunteer group that fosters inclusion at Smartwool, and making sure that everybody feels included, no matter what your passions are, or what your values are. But the one thing I've realized over the last certainly couple of months with the recent events is that we need to take more action. It's no longer good enough just to try to do your best. You have to really push through and figure out and get uncomfortable and make sure that we're truly understanding what it's going to take to make systemic change. And that's what's so great about the program and the partnership with SOS, and really starting to break through on different ideas like this, where, my goodness, we've been supporting this program and we've been trying to recruit, diverse hires into our organization. We've been supporting this program for so many years. We haven't connected the dots yet to say, hey, there's a great alumni group that we can tap into to try to bring more diversity into our organization. So just being really deliberate about our hiring practices, being deliberate about, promotions and getting, people of color into leadership roles, and just taking much more action that we should have been taking a long time ago. So it's been a great learning session over the last couple of months, and absolutely listening and being open. I certainly value collaboration and teamwork and diverse ideas. And so I think it's just going to make all of our organizations so much stronger by really getting after this in a big way. And again, partnering with great organizations like SOS to do it.
Thank you so much for your input about the dialogues and also the potential that you would see in the alumni network. And the very last question that we have is, how did you navigate your career after college?
Yeah, so I kind of alluded to this before, but one of the things that I didn't intentionally do it at first, and then I realized it was a great approach, was I just went for experience. So, a lot of folks, they worry too much about titles sometimes, or money, or just you're not advancing as fast as you maybe want to. But if you actually seek out the roles that are going to give you different experiences and different skill sets, that seems to have been really helpful for me. And don't be afraid to take a lateral move, because it will usually lead to a promotion down the road. So that's been something that's been really great. And then also just, again, play to your strengths. One of the things that also happened with me, and I kind of alluded to it earlier, is I was very strong in math. It led to an accounting degree. It led to early start of accounting. That wasn't necessarily where my passion was. But, fast forward 20 years, and here I am leading a business. I've got that background. It opened up doors to be able to get into this great role and do something that I'm passionate about, which is really giving back and making, the world a better place. So you never know how it's all going to shake out. It was definitely not a linear career trajectory for me, but super cool to think about all the experiences I've had over the years. So
thank you so much for your insight. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule to do this interview with us today.
No problem. Very nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you.
Yeah. To all SOS alumni and on behalf of everyone here at SOS, Cara, thank you for your leadership in getting this alumni network moving. And Jen, not only for your leadership at Smartwool, also on the board of SOS. And as you talk about your experience as a person in your family to go to college and really leading from your strengths, and your comment on it's no longer good enough to just do your best of leaning in these conversations. They're just some incredible things to pass on to all of our alumni as we launch this campaign. So thank you for being with us for this interview, and really appreciate you both. Here's to the next time. Bye.
Thank you both. Bye-bye.
Bye.